Alright YouTube, it's the next day. I've changed clothes and the shifter cables have arrived. Again, I'm going to take it out of the bag here and I'm going to show you how everything lines up. And I've already checked it and they all look the same. So let me get it all unwrapped here and we'll take a look at it, and put it in the car. Bye. Alright, so here they are side by side, and it looks like my original shifters, they had some issues. They like this, what looks like heat shielding was shortened. It wasn't even enough heat shielding for us. Over here on the new shifter, or shifter cable, excuse me, you got a nice coating of it here that's going to do real well with that hot engine, and everything back here looks pretty decent. So it even has a little bit of grease in there. They thought of everything. So it looks like here I'm concerned about this, and there seems to be a section to where these need to line up so that what am I trying to say? The length of these plastic bits here that connect to the shift tower housing, I'm going to try to match this on the other one as well. And I'm going to start counting back here, probably around this edge. And I'm going to count up the number of splines here till it gets to this one, and I'm going to transplant that over to the new shifter, and that should roughly get me aligned with the length of the shifter so that there's no play. And I'm going to do the same thing over here on the old shifter to make sure that I align this up so there's no play in the new shifter. You kind of understand what I'm saying? I'm just going to transplant this over to the new shifter and then put it back in the car. So let's do that. Alright, so this is what I did. Let me let this focus, wipe it off here. Alright, focus. So this is what I did. I took this screw and I just counted the sections here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I went and transplanted that over to here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 right there. And then on this one there were let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So over here there should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Uh-oh, see, got a problem. 6, we need a little bit more. That's why we do it. We're all good here, and now it's time, and once you finish that, you just push this tab down to lock it in place on both of these, and you're good to go. So now we're gonna go install this in the car. It's hot out here in Texas. I think it's like 100 degrees today, so wherever you're working on yours, be safe. Make sure you're not burning up out here. What we're going to do is we're going to push the end through from the cabin through to the engine compartment and up until its place. I need to take everything out of the car, the transmission mount and everything again, and jack up the engine so that I can actually access the sections to put on the ends of the shifter cable. So let's get going. Alright, so let's take this stuff over to my hot car and feed it through the hole. So what you want to do, obviously, is the reverse of how you took it off. We'll feed each part through one at a time. So let's get down in here. And I'm covering you up where you can't see anything. All right. This little light in the tunnel right here. We want to feed both of these through that hole. All right, so you got to kind of wiggle it. You got to get the right one in first and kind of wiggle it down, and then you can focus on getting focus on getting the left one in the hole and wiggled like it is right here. And then you got to go to the front part and pull it past the oxygen sensor. I want to take you up here into the engine bay, and you'll see what I'm talking about. First, I got to put on my hat. Let's do it. Engine bay, you can see the shifter down at the bottom, and it's underneath the oxygen sensor, and we don't want that, so I got to reach down here and pull it out, and kind of tug on it a little bit, not too much to kind of mess up the cable, but enough to get it away from the oxygen sensor and up. I need it up here in this area, so I'm going to work on that, and I'll turn you back on once that's finished. All right, now that I got the cables up and out of the way from the oxygen sensor there, I'm gonna go back to the car over here, and well, not back to the car, but back to the inside of the car, and in here I'm gonna get these now into place and onto their little housing, just like that. Sorry, so you can see it, just like that. And just so you know, like this, all this is definitely real time. I don't you know, beautify the work. This is real work. Like, this is me doing it and figuring out just like I would for anything else that I do. And honestly, you know, for you that are watching this, it's not bad, it's not hard, it's just a lot of trying to figure out how to make things work. And you'll see once you do it yourself. I believe my automatic had, well, I know my automatic had its shifter cables replaced when I was in college, when I was an undergraduate, and they charged me $364 to change out the shifter cables. Like, man, you know, I'm thinking about it now, like, that was way too much money for such a simple job. Like, I don't know why they're charging this much to do these jobs, but you know, that's what they do, and that's where we are. So got the bolts down here. I'm gonna put the bolts back in place on this bit, and we can call this portion done. So let me do that, and we'll move on to the front part. Stay tuned. Again, put my cap back on. All right, so here we are. It's all bolted down in there, and we'll just fold that down like that, and then we'll put the box back on, but that can be done off camera. Over here we still got a little bit of work to do. We have to put the shifters in their correct housing, because there is a shifter housing they need to go into, and that's going to be right here, and down, where did it go? And down there, you can't see it, but there's one right here, and then one down here where my finger is. You have to put those back on, and you should be good to go. Let's get that done. I'll be right back. All right, YouTube, so both the shifter cables are in. I will tell you that you're gonna have to have some pretty good finger strength to twist this, make sure that's in all the way, to twist this shifter cable into place. You're gonna have to really twist your wrist, I mean your hand, and it's tight. It's a tight squeeze in here, so you just gotta, you know, really work your finger strength and hand strength. And to go for the one down here, you gotta really twist it. I turned it up and twisted it, and then just pushed it down into place, and then pushed it the rest of the way so that it would fit. But they're in, and you know, I can move it around like so. We're in, we're good to go, which is great. Put it back into neutral like that, and yeah, so that's it. This has been an experience for changing out shifter cables. Not bad, you know, not bad at all. It's just it just work, you know, just like anything you're doing in your car. It requires work, and for you to go out and try it. All right, YouTube, so we're gonna pick up here for part 3 of this series. And I want to say something that I didn't know in part 1 when I was changing the shifter cables in the engine. So these little clips here, and you'll see this when you're doing yours, these little clips here are your friend. So all you have to do to make that sit-in job a lot easier is to push the shifter cable onto the slot, which it will break the clip and you don't have to twist. I wish I would have knew that. So if I ever do someone's car that needs to do that, they need to have this for their Focus or whatnot, it's easy. You just push it down on there and that clip pops out and you don't have to twist it into place. Especially would have been really nice to know that on the engine side, because it's really hard to get down there and twist this portion to get it to lock in so it doesn't move around. You'll know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so what I'm working on now is getting the bolts for the shifter housing, not shifter housing, but the shifter in place, and you can get to putting the shifter back in and going out and testing it. So let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts, tighten them down, and we'll get the shifter in place. Stay tuned. All right, everybody, so housing's in, back plate is in. Now let's go put the shifter together, and the remnants of the old piece is still in here. I don't know if you can see that. Let me see if I can get you in. You see that piece that's in there? Got to get that out, because that is the root cause of the problem to cause the car not to shift right. This little pin here broke, so the shifter was going left to right, like I said earlier, and causing it not to shift properly. So let's go ahead and change that out. All right, YouTube, morning. So shifter cables came in. Well, not shifter cables, but the shifter actually came in. This is another Steeda short throw shifter, and I'm in the process now of, I hooked everything back up, clicked it down, both connection points to the shifter itself. Now I'm just testing it to see what it's going to look like, but I need to bolt everything in, as you see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and also put the bolt through this part. The little metal piece that was broken in there, so I can get you in. You can't even see it, but it's back there, and it's better. I must have broke it during the teaching session in that video that I'll link up here. Should you want to go and learn how to do this yourself, that video is there for you to learn how to install the short throw shifter. Anyway, let me get the covers and stuff back on and take it out for a spin and we'll see how it feels. Stay tuned. All right, we're done. Let's go drive it. All right, so the initial, I'm going to show you over and up. Oh my gosh, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Go back into neutral. 5. And reverse. My goodness. Like it shifts so, the shifts are so crisp, if you will. Like I used to have to fight to get in the first gear. Now it's just, oh my gosh. Like it is what this Focus RS and the new ST feel like. Like geez, like I see why people like manual. I mean it is no effort whatsoever. And then the second, like, yeah, all right, I'm about to turn the car on. I got to dry this thing. Got to dry this thing. Let's see here. Clutch in, no keys, so great. All right, unlock the car. Let's unlock the car. Clutch in, key in, start. All right, well, we know the car still works. That's good. We'll let this warm up and get back out on the road. Oh my gosh, it ships so well in the first. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. That shipped in the seconds. Yeah, I'm glad. Oh snaps! I'm glad I did this fix. I don't have nothing to hold this, so I had to go find something to hold this. Otherwise, it's gonna break or roll around on you. So I can turn it to a better angle. That might work. Might work to lock it in place. You can kind of see what I'm doing. All right, let's give it a little bit of gas. Much better. This is much better. All right, so we're going to go back in first and give it a little bit more gas up here. Now I'm deleting the actuator for the intake manifold, and one reason why I'm deleting that is because these little flaps, and over time these flaps can break and go directly into the engine, and you're done. It's over. So I'm going to delete these in favor of not having to worry about that going into my engine, and deal with the higher RPMs. At idle. I'm okay with that. So let's get started with this.